Tributes continue to pour in for one of Rwanda's finest DJs, Virgil Karuranga, aka DJ Mira.
In April 1994, one of the worst genocides in history began in Rwanda.
Now, it would be unfair to talk about the stories that trended in the year 2020 and forget the date, March 14th, when Rwanda reported the first case of COVID-19. More than 9 months later, the country now has over 8,200 COVID-19 confirmed cases and more than 80 fatalities linked to this virus.
Another story that trended in 2020 is the arrest of genocide suspect Felicien Kabuga. Kabuga, who is suspected of leading architects of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, was arrested in the French capital Paris in May 2020. He faces 7 counts, including 5 related to genocide.
Still on justice-related stories, in the same year, Paul Rusesabagina, who faces charges related to terrorism, was arrested. His substantial trial has been merged with those of 19 other terror suspects linked to MRCD and its military wing FLN, and is scheduled for January 26th.
2020 also brought joy to the Catholics and the Rwandans in general when Archbishop Antoine Kabanda was appointed cardinal by Pope Francis. He became the first Rwandan to be given such responsibility. Kabanda, who is 61, is now among cardinals responsible for coordinating the Catholic Church's missionary work globally.
Now, before we leave appointment-related stories, Tidjane Thiam, a renowned Ivorian banker, was appointed by the cabinet to head the board of Rwanda Finance Limited. Rwanda Finance Limited is a corporation owned by the government whose primary responsibility is to develop and promote what is known as Kigali Financial Center. Now, in environment stories, one of the stories that trended is the Gishwati Mukura National Park being upgraded to a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. According to officials, recognizing the Gishwati Mukura as a biosphere reserve will foster economic development in the region while raising the country's profile as a tourist destination.
The passing on of DJ Miller is one of the saddest stories of 2020, as he was one of the celebrated DJs in the local music industry. Born Virgil Karuranga, Miller breathed his last on April 5th after he reportedly succumbed to heart-related complications. Another entertainment story that trended in 2020 was the streaming of the 600 film on Amazon Prime. In the same year, this film that tells the story of Rwanda Patriotic Front's liberation struggle was named the best feature at the Australia International Film Festival.
Now, from entertainment, a lot also trended in sports, most notably the saga in the local famous football team, Rayon Sports. Following the saga that was mainly linked to alleged embezzlement of funds, the Rwanda Governance Board and the Ministry of Sports set up a committee to investigate embezzlement accusations in the club, and some of the recommendations included the club chairman, Sadate Munyakazi, and his executive committee resigning from the club.
As we conclude, Rwanda hosted the November window qualifiers for the 2020 AfroBasket. Just like the domestic league finals, African Basketball Championship qualifiers were also played in the bubble with a limited number of fans who had to undergo COVID-19 testing and present negative results before buying tickets for the game.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Well, this marks the end of this week's news review. We thank you very much for being with us and for showing us the love and support throughout 2020. We just want to remind you that these are always summarized stories, and in case you need further details on these stories and many others, kindly visit newtimes.co.rw. Don't forget to also subscribe to our YouTube channel, The New Times Rwanda. I am Levi Mutanganshuro, joined by
Joanne Bawazi.
We wish you a happy New Year.